More recently, we have also shown our commitment for the promise to reduce and eventually eliminate tolls, especially intracity tolls, in the announcement of the acquisition of 4 toll roads owned by Gamuda, namely Kesas, LDP, Sprint, and the Smart Tunnel. Of course, some have called into question this move. People have called it a bailout. I think the Ministry of Finance has already issued a couple of statements to explain this proposal in detail. I just want to put it in simple terms for those of you here in the audience. There's a lot of figures being thrown out in terms of the cost savings of 180 million going directly to the consumer as a result of off-peak discounts in some of these tolls. Savings of 5.3 billion ringgit for the government in terms of acquisition costs. But just want to sort of like show you a counter reality. If, let's say, there has not been a change in government and this proposal to acquire these tolls was not put in place, the toll rates for the LDP would increase from the current 2 ringgit 10 cent to 3 ringgit 10 cent under the current concession agreement. I've gone through all these concession agreements in the past, even before we formed a new government, so I'm fairly familiar with the details. And you're basically paying 1 ringgit more one way to get stuck in a traffic jam. For Sprint, which is close by, the increase would have been from 2 ringgit to 250 for the Damansara Toll. Closer to this place, 2 ringgit 50 for the Kerinchi Link would increase to 350. And for the Penchala Link, the agreement states that the toll rate would increase from 3 ringgit to 5 ringgit, a significant increase. So instead of allowing this toll hike to happen, or alternatively, to compensate the toll concessionaire, in this case, companies linked to Gamuda, in lieu of these toll hikes, the government is taking that money for compensation to acquire the tolls instead, with the promise of off-peak toll discounts and also no increase in toll rates. In addition, I think this is very important, something which the press has not probably picked up. By acquiring these 4 particular tolls, this actually takes away the temptation for the government to defer compensation for toll concession as in exchange for extending the toll concession period. This is something that was done frequently by the previous government, whereby the government would not want to pay the toll concession for not allowing toll rate increase, and instead would extend the length of the concession by 10, 15 years, sometimes 20 years for some cases. This is something that could have easily taken place if there was not a change, there was no change in government. But instead, this acquisition of these toll rates, which will be funded by the proceeds from the toll collections, will have no cost implications to the government. It would not increase our budget deficit. It's fully funded by payments to this special purpose vehicle that will come from the toll collection. And you will still be able to enjoy discounts during off-peak hours. So I think this is one example of how we are slowly but surely implementing our manifesto promises, and perhaps that can be updated in the next update.